You get called into school because your kid fought a bully who was terrorizing a student. What would you do? That happened to me, actually. I told the principal, "It's a shame my son had to do your job for you." I then told him that if he didn't get this shit under control, I'd round up some parents and go have a chat with the school board. My son wasn't punished. And while I cautioned him about getting into fights, I also told him that I was proud of him for standing up for others. Take my kid to lunch wherever he wanted to go, and I'd very loudly communicate to the school admin that they need to get their bullying problem under control. I'm thinking ice cream maybe, or pizza. The difficulty here is that parents will often believe their kids, even when they lie. If the facts were clear, I'd praise my kid for standing up for another kid who was a victim of bullying. But lots of parents, including I'm sure some people in this thread, will unknowingly believe their kid even though they're the actual bully, and they're lying about the situation. I'd congratulate my child for fighting back and argue with the teachers. No one's gonna bully my kid, not after what I've gone through with bullies when I was his age. School, we have a zero violence policy. Me, so does my kid. I have told all of my kids they have 4 steps. 1. Kid picks on them, they tell teacher. 2. Kid continues, and teacher didn't stop it, they tell a different teacher. 3. Kid continues, they go to principal. 4. Kid continues, they have been taught how to throw a mean right hook. Dad will take it from there. This is happening to my son right now. A bully is terrorizing a neighbor's boy. It's been going on a while. We've been told by a few other parents in our neighbors that it only happens when my son isn't around. Because if he is, the bully won't dare do anything learned the hard way in the past. He's 11. He knows I'm super proud of him. Oddly, the school has never called us about it. How was his footwork? Did he punch the bully properly? How was his fighting technique? I mean, fuck bullies. Fight fire with fire. If the school can't fix it, then I sure won't berate my son for doing it. I don't have kids though. I can't imagine that's how the school would characterize the confrontation. But if my kid said that was what was happening, then I would attempt to mediate a discussion between him and the administration to establish exactly what did happen. I actually had this happen with one of my kids, and to their credit, the school did the right thing in not punishing my son. It was barely more than a nurse's note visit. Basically, hey, your kid has a bruise, he stood between his friend and a bully. The bully was suspended. No action will be taken against your child. They have a bullying issue, and they know, but it's a massive underfunded public school in the poorest part of town. They just don't have the resources to have eyes everywhere. Took the boy out for ice cream. Treat them to a good day. We gave our son permission to punch the little shit that was terrorizing him as he walked to elementary school. Our boy's a big guy, but very peaceful. He would come home with bruises on his legs from the little bastard kicking him. He came home very excited. I hit him like you said. He cried. I walked away. Punk's parents came over to our house to complain. They heard quite carefully what their little psycho had been doing. They left. Or you could be like my parents and yell at me for fighting and tell me that it doesn't matter who started it and tell the principal to do what's right. Never respected authority again after that day in elementary school. I've had this conversation with my wife before, if this was to ever occur. If my son or daughter did not start it, but they finished it. Sweetheart, you're probably going to get suspended. Don't cry. You did the right thing. I would have done the exact same thing. We're gonna go out to dinner tonight. We're gonna get some ice cream, and we're gonna watch whatever movie you want, and you're going to enjoy your 3-day. Play video games the whole time, IDC. You deserve it. You are not in trouble with mommy or daddy. I would first listen to my child's side of the story and understand what happened. I want to know why the school had not acted on reports of bullying as the party responsible for everyone's safety. Show up, bring my lawyer, and say this is one of my lawyers. I thought it best that he take notes in person so nothing gets lost in translation. And then sit there quietly. I'd feel happy. There's some kids who just lash out on innocence for no reason. Demand a paternity test, because I know I don't have any kids. If you all were doing your job, the kid wouldn't have to do it for you. Give them a high five right in front of the principal and tell them their new video game will be ready when they get home. This happened to my son. I told the principal good for him and I support his response. He had enough, and that kid had it coming. I'm probably not well in the head, but this always pops up in my brain when I read posts like these. Oh, you're not doing anything well. I guess this means we'll just wait for the day that a kid getting bullied comes to the school with a gun. Whose fault will it be? His parents, the school, or the state, because of gun laws? We'll never know. All we know is that there'll just be a bunch of dead students and a bunch of dead teachers. Buy my kid ice cream to eat at the meeting. Demands the meeting be with the principal, the district superintendent, and the district school board. Bring my lawyer a personal injury lawyer, with the name The Hammer somewhere in his title, and calmly explain to them that the school failed to protect this other kid, and failed to protect your kid. Gaw. To. Warth. Wouldn't do a thing. If they were to try and suspend him or something, I would try to fight it, but other than that, I would praise my kid. When I was in middle school, I got in trouble for hitting a kid with a textbook because he slapped me first after talking shit about my mom. They wanted to suspend me, so my mom flipped out on them, and I only ended up with a detention. That teacher ended up moving my seat instead of that other kid's seat, though. Bitch. Tell the principal they should count themselves lucky I came instead of my wife. She's a bit of a hothead. I talked to my child to hear their side of the story. I'd praise them for their bravery in standing up for someone else, but I'd also remind them about the importance of finding non-violent ways to handle such situations. It's important to acknowledge their good intentions while teaching them better conflict resolution skills. Give him/her a cookie. Take my kid out to lunch and then go for dessert.